Welcome, my dear viewer, to Dr. Paul Kibicho YouTube channel. Today, I want us to look at a few things that affects, or some few things that are very, very important ingredients for you as an individual. I want us to do what we call retrospection. You look at yourself individually. Yes, you are called Kibicho by name. You are called John by name. You are called Nyagodi by name. But the question is, even if you are 100 people somewhere seated, by the end of the day, you are you as an independent entity, as an individual. There are things that I need us to look at together so that we can ask ourselves, are we really in tandem with the reality of life? Where are we going wrong? What are we supposed to do in order for our lives to be more bearable, in order for us to interact or to coexist with other people peacefully without causing unnecessary hullabaloo? One of the things, I'm going to give you what we call some philosophies of life. Philosophy number one, when you are alone, mind your thoughts. When you are alone, mind your thoughts. Because basically, your minds dictate your destiny. Those people who steal, or those people who fall or who slip into depression, those people who find themselves very stressed in life, it is because their thought process was geared towards what has not worked for them over the years. And the moment you start magnifying the negative aspects of your life, chances are that you are going to slide into depression, you are going to be stressed, and by the end of the day, your life may become meaningless. And those are the people who finally take a rope and hang themselves. Those are the people who go to the 17th floor, the 35th floor, and they drop themselves dead, which is not right. So when you're alone, mind your thoughts. You must preoccupy your minds with good things pertaining to yourself. You don't have to wait for people's approval. I have told you many times, the moment you wake up in the morning and you think of making people happy, that is the genesis of your failure. I have properly articulated that in my previous videos. God created you with a divine purpose. God created you unique, in a unique manner. You are uniquely created. And your uniqueness, therefore, should give us unique thoughts. So, mind your thoughts when you are all alone. Point number two, when you are with friends, mind your tongue. There are some people whom you think are your genuine friends, but in actual sense, they are not. We have got so many pretenders. People who even empathize with you, but in actual sense, inwardly, they are wishing that you are better off dead than alive. And they still laugh with you. They still share a lot of things with you. And therefore, you need to mind your tongue when you are with other people. So when you are with friends, please mind your tongue. And the Bible says that your tongue can wreak havoc if badly handled. So avoid even giving people unnecessary information. Make sure that your tongue gives what is relevant, what is required in any given sitting, what is required in any given environment. So you don't go suffering from what we call verbal diarrhea. Verbal diarrhea is terrible, verbal diarrhea is pathetic, and verbal diarrhea is a very sad thing. So one of the things that you must ensure that you do is to mind your tongue at any given time, and more so when you are with some individuals, when you are with your friends, because those people that you claim to be your friends, they can actually magnify one statement and you find yourself becoming a center of what we call skepticism. They start looking at you like you are a stranger in their environment. The other thing is that when you are angry, mind your temper. I can tell you for sure, we have got so many men today who are actually languishing in jails. We have got so many individuals in remand centers, not because they had no brain capacity. They had the brain capacity, but they were unable to contain their temperament when it was needed most. So one of the things that you must ensure that you do in life is to mind your temper. Mind your temper. At any given time, mind your temper. Temper has made many people to perish. Temper has made many people to suffer dire consequences, which in the first place they were not supposed to. But because they were not able to, we have had some individuals who cannot control their temperament. Please make sure that you control your temper, because it can lead you to what we call very undesirable destinations. The other thing, when you are with a group of people, kindly mind your behavior. How do you behave? We have some women, married women, I start from there, when they go to some gatherings, They are confused with women who are not married at all because their behavior is actually exhibiting characteristics of somebody who is looking for a partner, somebody who is looking for a suitor. So your behavior must be modest. Your behavior must be controlled in such a way that nobody would confuse you for what you are not. So please, when you are with a group of people, mind your behavior. I would even suggest that even your dressing code. There are people who dress so provocatively that people end up drawing their conclusions which may be far away from the actual truth. But basically, you are addressed the way you are addressed. There are certain ways that you can dress. Sorry for that. There are certain ways that you can dress and people confuse you for who you are not. So make sure that your behavior corresponds with your status in the society, with your social status, that people don't confuse you for who you are not. So when you are with a group of people, please mind your behavior. Even the way you talk. You don't just talk aimlessly, because you'll be judged by what you say. So you'll be judged by the behavior. So please make sure that you don't behave in such a way that people will end up confusing who you are. The other thing that you must do, remember, when you're in trouble, mind your emotions. When you find yourself in situations that are not very palatable, you must be very careful with your emotions. Some people, when they get bitter, sometimes when people find that things are not working in their favor, they utter anything they think is supposed to be uttered, which may not necessarily be the case. So when you're in trouble, mind your emotions. How do you manage your emotions? It is, sometimes we call it emotional intelligence. How do you mind? How do you handle yourself? Do you have the capacity to handle yourself in a manner that you are composed, in a manner that you are sober, that people don't get to ask themselves certain questions, whether this individual is actually in tandem with the reality? The other thing, when God starts to bless you, please mind your ego. There are some individuals who think because they are doing so well, others are fools. It is not that others are fools. We are all wonderfully created by God, and God holds our destinies in His hands. So do not assume because others are not as blessed as you that they don't have favor before God. It is because God has seasons. God has seasons of blessing some certain individuals. God has seasons of taking us through a lesson. God has seasons of making us learn from our past mistakes. So please mind your ego. Don't think that others are fools. Don't think that others don't think. Don't think that others don't even know what ought to be done in order for them to succeed. It is only that God has favored you, and the favor of the Lord is upon you, and God has been able to locate you wherever you are. So do not, please mind your ego. When God blesses you with a new car, be calm. When God blesses with you with a new house, be calm. When God gives you triplets, when God gives you twins, be calm. When God promotes you at your place of work, be calm. Manage your ego. Don't assume that others are fools. That is when they are not succeeding. I thought it was important for us to learn this so that we can be able to manage ourselves in a better way, that we do not go hurting other people's emotions and feelings, so that we don't become outcasts for things that we can be able to contain and hold. Remember, as I conclude, Dr. Paul Kebisho is a fund manager. Dr. Paul Kebisho is a financial advisor. Dr. Paul Kebisho is a legal advisor. Dr. Paul Kebisho is a motivational speaker. So in case you require any of my services, I normally advise individuals and corporates. Kindly don't hesitate to give me a call on 0722 633 021. Please don't hesitate to give me a call on 0722 633 021. May God bless you. Shalom, shalom, shalom.